This is A Mish. It is the tale of two guys who just dropped out of college and have no jobs, who need to find some mushrooms for their best friend's birthday by tomorrow. Mark and Devin wake up to realize they only have one day before their best friend David's birthday. David is a man who has everything. Now they decided the best thing to get him is mushrooms, psychedelic mushrooms, because he's never tripped before. The two friends set out in their crappy old car to track down their drug dealer, who reluctantly admits that the entire state is totally dry because of a huge drug festival happening somewhere out in the desert. However, there is a single batch still being grown somewhere out in Arizona, and the two decide that they're going to make the trip. While driving, the two get in a huge argument and stop paying attention to the road. There's an old lady who's hitchhiking on the side of the road and they almost hit her. They swerve around her and come to a screeching halt. The old lady thinks they're picking her up, so she hops in the back of the car and asks them to take her as far as they can in Arizona. The two are way too embarrassed to admit they almost killed her, so they bring her along. The three get to talking and they grow really fond of each other. As the day drags on, she decides to take a nap in the back seat. But when they come to a gas station to wake her up, turns out she's dead. The two decide they need to take her to her family because it's the right thing to do. So they find her address and head out on the open road, speeding as quickly as possible because she's starting to smell bad. The car can't really handle the speed and barely makes it. They run to the front door and open it to reveal a bunch of rough and tumble southern boys. They're very upset by the grandmother's death, and the two friends feel kind of sorry for the rednecks, so they decide to help them bury her in the backyard. Family plot. The rednecks are deeply touched by this and decide they're going to help the boys get where they're going. The boys, with a broken down car, little money, and less gas, decide they really need the help, so they hop in the back of their pickup truck and head out on the open road. While grieving, the rednecks start passing around a bottle of whiskey, of which the boys partake a little bit in. Suddenly, they come upon a DUI checkpoint. They're way too messed up to deal with the cops, so they try to drive around it, but they're spotted and a car chase ensues. They're forced to hide out up in the desert mountains for a while, and the two boys realize there's no way that they're going to be able to get the shrooms in time. This makes them really, really angry at each other, and they start getting physical. Pushing and shoving each other, they bounce and bang down the mountainside. Dazed and confused, they hear the faint thumping sound of music. They look off in the distance and see fire. The two brohemes decide to investigate, with the rednecks trailing behind. As they get closer, they realize it's the drug festival that their dealer mentioned earlier. Totally ecstatic, they start running from person to person trying to buy shrooms. Turns out, though, that no one takes money at the festival, they only barter in goods. The drunk and excitable rednecks see the ravers giving our two heroes trouble. They get really angry and start brandishing their guns at the fairies' festers, who themselves are starting to feel violated because these people are just basically crashing their party. The two friends are at the end of their rope, and they throw up their hands and say, "Wait! Hold on!" The two boys deliver a fairly heartwarming speech about how people need to work together and learn to love each other's differences. Everyone is so fucked up that they're deeply touched by this. A raver decides to just give them the shrooms. The rednecks and the heroes jump in the pickup truck and race across the desert, barely making their friend's birthday party. They run inside, give David the mushrooms, and wait. Unfortunately, the shrooms are total duds, and he doesn't trip at all. They get slightly upset, but just shrug it off and decide to grab a six-pack of beer and some fireworks. They walk down to the river to throw tiny explosives and light up the dark waters at night.
So they say with the pause, it's just moving on. But I can't see, no I can't see, no I can't see.